He said if you take a wire or something and you put it in an oyster and you irritate the oyster, that oyster will produce a pearl. That's what he said to me. So in his mind, he was irritating me to produce the pearls within me, I guess, in his mind. It worked. But at what cost, man? I would rather have just been an oyster rather than a pearl. I'm going to be honest with you. It would have been nice to just lay back, you know what I'm saying? But that was not my calling. I mean, this is my fate. It's too late to ever redo your life. You can't look back, or you will turn to stone. And the fact is, you go forward. And there's another great saying that was written, which is, life must be lived forward, but it can only be understood backward. I read that in one of Aldous Huxley's books. I love that one. Life must be lived forward, but it can only be understood looking backward. Now, I realize this is, kind of philosophical and people don't like it. They say, how dare you talk philosophy and tell stories on the radio during drive time? Why, we got news to cover. We got breaking news. It's the breaking news. There are people who actually believe that's what talk radio is supposed to be. We got breaking news for you. Or flashing a sign in your eye every 2 seconds like Fox News. Every 3 seconds, a flashing light, and there's Brett Baer with a toupee. What's the breaking news? Or there's a shoe in your face. 5 of them sitting around. The 5 jive artists there on the jive. The 5 jive artists are on. So when you have to do breaking news, you can get breaking news by clicking onto the Drudge Report. You get all the news in 1 second. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing in talk radio. What I do in talk radio is an art form, and that's what talk radio is supposed to be, what I do. I've reinvented talk radio, and I will go down in the history of talk radio as one of the greatest inventors of a new form of talk radio. And if you think that this is good, you're not wrong, but you don't know what's coming yet. But I have to button the old lip, because there'll be a new innovation coming at a certain point that will revolutionize this industry and will be written in the annals of the industry that I am in as yet another innovation by myself. But I'm getting a little too self-indulgent here. Let's go back to the breaking news on the Savage Nation when I return, right here on your local station.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
The Savage Nation is sponsored by Swiss America, the only company I trust with my financial future. Call 800-289-2646 or SwissAmerica.com. All right, if you take an atom of nitrogen and you bond it with an atom of oxygen, you create nitric oxide. It's a miracle molecule that your own body makes, which fuels your cardiovascular health and helps keep you vibrant, nitric oxide. But as we age, our bodies need help with this important process. Super Beets by Human, luckily, has harnessed the power of nutrient-enriched beets to create a superfood that helps your body make more nitric oxide in your own body. And a teaspoon of Super Beets every day supports your cardiovascular health and blood pressure levels, and it gives you natural energy with no caffeine kick or sugar high. We're talking real healthy natural energy. Stephen from Illinois says the Super Beets taste is pleasant, as is the increase in energy. It's a great caffeine substitute without the negative caffeine side effects. I want you to call 800-481-0504 or go to SavageLovesBeats.com, and you will find out how you can get a free 30-day supply of Super Beets and free shipping with your first purchase. Feel the 1 + 1 = boom effect of Super Beets. Go to 800-481-0504 or go to SavageLovesBeats.com today. Let's take some callers as this show comes to the end of hour number 2 today, this Thursday. Jeff up in Oregon on KUGN, which is Eugene, Oregon. Jeff, what's on your mind, my friend?
Hi, Michael. I'm a long-term listener, and we've talked before. I heard you talking about heart attacks and losing your temper, and I've said to my wife, mind you, I've been a doctor for 45 years, when I've seen you or listened to you lose your temper with somebody or an issue, that you were going to kill yourself. And I used to quote to my patients a study where actually anger is more dangerous than cholesterol.
Oh, doctor, I agree with you 100%. Cholesterol is a myth. The whole cholesterol myth has been exploded as a complete fraud. I agree with you on that. But what is the hormone that's released when a person gets angry?
Well, it could be cortisone. It could be epinephrine, adrenaline.
And are you saying that the release of such compounds increases the risk of heart attack? In what mechanism?
I think the mechanism has to do with the epinephrine constricting the blood vessels and speeding up the heart in a setting where there's probably some risk. I've seen people die suddenly several times, actually, who were just angry, and the blood pressure skyrocketed, and down they went. I'm
not denying it. I've had families say, calm down, calm down.
Yeah.
You know, there are Zen masters like me who can get angry without having their blood pressure go up and without having their heartbeat increase. There's actually a way to control your body while getting angry. It's a trick. I think I should write a book on it.
Yeah, I'd like to know.
I really don't know what. I can actually get angry without having my heart rate go up. It's a strange phenomenon. Maybe it's called schizophrenia. I'm not sure. Come on. See, I have a self-deprecating sense of humor, but I don't really know. I'm not saying you're wrong at all, doctor. And, when I was in grad school, I had a professor who told me the same thing. He's seen and done autopsies, he said, on many people who died in perfect health for no reason. They don't even know the cause of the heart attack. And he said to me that disease has three components from his point of view. This is a long time ago. 1/3 is genetic, 1/3 is environmental, and 1/3 is unknown. Would you say that's still true?
Yeah, I think that's basically it. But I do think adrenaline and stress and anger play a role. I've just seen it too many times. I've read about it too many times. And I would challenge you to have somebody check your blood pressure and your pulse the next time. See?
Okay. No, I try not to get angry anymore on the radio. But let's go back a number of years. The famous story in the 70s of Jim Fixx, a very famous runner, who dropped dead of a heart attack while running in 104-degree heat in Vermont on an asphalt road. Now, he was a man who didn't believe in diet and heart attacks. He said exercise would overcompensate for everything. And I remember at the time I was an avid runner. I also was writing, if you can believe it or not, for Runner's Magazine. People don't know that. I learned a lot from that. I mean, which is, exercise per se is not the answer to it all.
The answer to that, in part, and I've discussed this in the past many times with patients and other folks, is that his running may have given him an extra 5 or 10 years rather than him dying at a younger age. And so people point out how healthy he was and he keeled over, but probably he would have died younger.
Yeah, but don't you think that his disavowing the benefits of nutrients and a proper diet for health was contributing factors?
It could have been.
Well, so you don't believe in diet and its relationship to cardiovascular health at all?
No, I do. I just think it's blown out of proportion. But I think genetics...
No, I do too. I generally have eaten a very lean diet for 30 years, but lately, in the last number of years, I have found that I need higher amounts of animal protein in order for my brain to function properly.
Yeah? Just get up earlier in the morning.
No, I will tell you that I find animal protein, whether it be fish or even the occasional meat, poultry, I absolutely need it for my brain to function properly. And, there's a genetic component to this. I had a caller many years ago to this show, I wish he was still a listener, who told me that my ethnic background needed extremely high amounts of protein, and he meant animal protein in order to function. He said it varies according to ethnic groups. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but I remember I studied ethnic diets years ago. But I thank you for the call. I love this kind of call. I should do it more often. I think I ought to do a health and nutrition hour at least once a week. I used to do it a lot more often, but then again, we got to do breaking news on the Savage Nation to satisfy all the geniuses in the radio business who say that they're listening only for the breaking news, as though we're living in the 1950s. They can get the breaking news on the internet today. That's a special thing that you can get by typing in www with your favorite news site. And in only seconds, you get the breaking news. You don't really need it from a discussion show where you're supposed to discuss things and develop ideas. But we got to give you the breaking news on the Savage Nation to keep them happy.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE.